So we are going to be talking about citation today. Citation is tricky. So let's start with the real basics. I understand we're in kind of a culture right now that's different than the culture that I grew up in. So when I grew up, if you went to do any research, you probably went to the library. You had to find articles by hand sometimes. This is It's not that the internet wasn't around. I'm not that old. But teachers didn't trust the internet at all. And so you had to go and look stuff up. And then you had a guide where you had to follow all these rules for citations. And so I used to have to do a lot of work to get citations. And now there are just so many ways to get them very easily. So the perception from a lot of your teachers is, why is this so difficult? When it used to be a very long, drawn out process to get citations, and now it's very easy. I think the clash in the culture now is that we're so used to sharing things without giving any credit, memes and TikTok videos and everything else, that it doesn't appeal to younger people that, hey, I got to give credit, I got to show where my information came from. But believe me, this is a really important skill. It's actually one of the most important things that we need to understand is, where is our information coming from, right? And without getting too much into it, if I am on any kind of platform for social media and I hear a news item, right, I want to determine, is this trustworthy or not? And there are a lot of examples of people who just don't know how to get trustworthy information. They trust information that doesn't make a lot of sense to trust. And we could talk about QAnon people. We could talk about the Pizzagate stuff. We could talk about a bunch of examples of that. But I think you know that there are plenty of times where you want the right information and the wrong information can actually be dangerous. So with that in mind, we are not dealing with dangerous information, right? I'm making a cheese souffle, and it's not going to hurt anybody if I don't have proper citation. But we want to know that skill. It's a really important skill. So, as I've said, in previous lessons, I've found these websites, including a YouTube site. I have four. This is actually the tone activity that we did the other day. I have four, right? Which was the required amount. And so how am I going to go about citing them? So I know we think we could just take this link and everything will be fine. In reality, links break all of the time. So this isn't enough. We actually have to go through a formal process. So where am I going to go to do that? I told you back in my day, we had a book you had to go to. And this place called Purdue, this University of Purdue, decided we don't want our students to have to pay for that book anymore. And we're going to make this available for free for all students everywhere. So this is actually a really amazing site. It's a lot of rules. It's very difficult to navigate. I'm not going to lie, but this is the number one place to go when you're looking to format. Our format is MLA. You might in your science classes do like APA. Nice thing is Purdue OWL does both of them. So we're going to go to the MLA formatting style guide. We're going to visit this site quite a bit, but for our purposes, we're really just going to look for some of these rules. So I want you to know a couple things before we use this nice tool. I want you to know that all of these rules are on this page. So since we are primarily dealing with websites, when I go down here and I look for my formatting guide, I can essentially just go to websites. And let's see, electronic sources. It's probably going to be in there. Additional resources. I'll show you that in a minute. So let's go ahead and look at electronic sources. And what I really want to know is what a good electronic source looks like when it's finished. And then I'll show you how we put all of this in. So it's going to be URL information, etc., etc. This is the series of questions that you need to answer to be able to do a proper citation. And when you're finished, it's going to look like this. Okay. So you'll notice this is all the same information: author, title, title of website, right? And when I go to my creator, I'm going to go ahead and put this website in the creator. I'm going to go to site. It's going to do some magic. It's going to look through that website. It's going to see if it can fill out any information. I actually really like the new version of this. It's a much better job than the old version. Look, it's found the actual site and given me the website, so I can go to site. And if I hit manual creation, it would do something pretty similar for me. So as I go to site, I think it's generating somewhere. You can see it's giving me clear information. Here's what we found. I'm going to click on continue. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't think it likes that I'm recording at the same time. Okay, so if I clicked on manual, it would have given me this page. And you'll notice these are all of the same questions that the proper way to fill it out would have asked me to do. So what I want to do is go back to my website. Is there an author? Did somebody specifically write this up? Do I have a name somewhere? Sorry, it's this one. Actually, I think I'm on the wrong side. I probably need to go to the spruceeats.com. That's okay. Let's do it this way for now. Yeah, there's no instructions on how to make this in here. You get what I mean. I'm going to go here. I might need to go to the Spruce Eats, but I'm basically just answering questions, right? When was it published? They're going to tell me. They actually have a nice publication date. And then the date accessed is always going to be today's date. So this looks pretty good to me. You're going to notice, like, we don't have a sponsor. If I went back here, maybe on the real page, there's a sponsor. But it's done a pretty good job of filling out that information. Now I'm going to go to complete citation. And again, another really nice thing about this site is it's going to do all that work for me. And all it's going to do is ask me to watch like a little video. You're going to notice it's asking me, do you want it in APA? That's because I've been doing a lot of work in APA recently. So I'm asking for it in MLA. I can review it. It's telling me there is missing info, so I might want to review it, but we've already done that, right? And so now I'm going to copy that in-text citation. I'm sorry, that's my in-text citation. What am I thinking of? I'm going to copy copy the citation. It's again telling me. It's one of the things I really like about this. And then if I were to go to a doc, there you go. Or whatever else, like here's how it should look, right? And we'll get to how it should look fine, like a final version of it when we submit our papers. So you're turning your links into, or your sources into this. Again, let's go back to the OWL. Remember, I had more than just websites. I had a book, and so I can find my book on here. I'm not going to go through all of these processes. I have an ISBN number, or the title of the book. This one's a little tough because it's going to be searching for everything she's done. And you can see it'd be much easier if I just pulled that ISBN number, or if I had the title of it. Specifically, what is it? It's Mastering the Art of French Cooking. If you're tempted to turn the video off, wait until I get through the YouTube stuff. There we go. So here we go. Now I'm going to be able to pull this up as well, and cite that. Again, I'm not going to go through that whole process. So how about my YouTube video? That one's tougher. We're going to go to other common sources. And it's going to be close to the bottom here, I think. So look, this is something you kind of learn when you're doing this work. Like, what if you wanted to put a painting or a photograph inside your piece? Well, there's a proper way to do that. How about if you're using a song? There's a proper way to do that. Film, television, everything. Right? Everything's got a proper way for you to submit it. And YouTube should have been on here. But I missed it somewhere. Well, I'm not going to spend forever looking for it. But you get the idea. Like, everything under the sun, you're able to tell me where it came from. And they might have switched over YouTube because it is a website. It's a lot easier to put that in. And I could just use, again, that quick finder. But again, it's got all of the information. If I want to cite a Parks and Rec episode, here's the title of the episode. Here's the show. Here's the creator. Here is the central performer, season, episode. Here are the productions. Like, all of that information is so specific. Now let's go ahead. I bet they change this a little bit. They're always changing these rules, which is a little annoying for us. But that's why this university has created this site. This is very, very useful. So again, I'm not going to spend forever on all of the processes. It does take a little while for it to spit it out for you. It's so good about who's helping you with this information. Let's look at publication date, for example. Oh, you know what? I gave them the wrong thing. Again, I gave them the search, not the actual thing. So I bet that would give different information. But you get where I'm going with this. It is complicated.
Mix together flour.
Quiet, please. It is complicated. I'm not saying it's not complicated, but it's worth it. You only have 4 sources that you're doing this for. So make sure you're going through those stages and letting me know if you're having a lot of difficulty with them.